Fuck the news. Stop watching the fucking news. Stop right now. Unless your thing is tuning in and seeing another mass shooting in a high school again. Something that's so common in America, I guess. I don't know why little kids are getting shot up just going to get an education. And it pisses me off. It's kind of not what I wanted to talk about. But since I happened to be at the gym and I was on the treadmill running, and like, you know how they have TVs and shit on, it just happened to be on the news that another high school was shot up down in Georgia yesterday. And that's just insane to me. But that's a topic for a different day. But the topic for today is why you should just stop watching the news in general. So the first thing, which I kind of highlighted in the beginning, is it's just negativity. That's all it is. It's just negative information. 99% of the information you watch on these news outlets, whether it be through like actual TV or an article or just anywhere that's a source of information with news, like daily news, it's just negative information. You never hear about the football team that's doing this for the community, or the business owner that's opening this. Like, you never hear about the good stuff. Like, you barely hear about it. It might be like a 30-second clip or like a small, like 2 sentences in the newspaper or whatever you get your info from. But you never hear about any of the good stuff. And when you're just immersed in all that negative, just like energy and just information, you think the whole world is like that because that's all you're tuning into. That's all the information you're getting. So I know when I was a little kid, my grandma, she used to watch the news all the time, and she would like feed to me in my head like don't do this, look at this, look what's happening here, look what's happening there. It's just all negative shit. Like, it's never any good information. Now that it's 2024, it's an election year, and you know what goes on with the elections, with all the news channels, all that. There's just a lot of bias towards one party or another. Here in America, obviously, we have the two main parties that lead the way, and then they have their news channels, their respective news channels, such as Fox, CNN, and obviously they have their own agenda. And the thing that pisses me off with like these news channels and all this shit is when people watch these channels, when like the political news and all that shit that's going on, people identify with that party way too much. Like, their personality revolves around the party, and there's no in between. So if you're fully Republican, that's all you are. You're fully Republican. Everything they say you agree with. And the same thing for Democratic views. If you're fully Democratic, everything they say you have to believe, right? So like, these news channels got their own agenda. It creates a divisive society politically, more than politically, just divisive society in general. I don't know if you ever seen that movie Civil War. It just dropped like a year ago, but it pretty much highlights what the Civil War would be like if it happened in today's times. I highly recommend it. And it's from the point of view of a journalist. So it's like a neutral POV, but she shows both sides of the situation and how I feel like in order to make a country or just anything crumble, you have to tear it apart from the inside. Like with anything. Like, it could be your body, you gotta tear it apart from the inside with the things you eat, the things you digest, the things you read. With anything, if you want to tear it down, you gotta tear it down internally as opposed to externally. And I feel like that's what the news does. It tears this nation apart internally, and it just causes us to just be so divisive, and it's just gonna get worse as we get closer to election time. Because I remember back in 2020, you had COVID, obviously, and it's just the whole world, or at least in America, what I witnessed, it's just so like everyone's so against each other, and it's just annoying. There's no in between. It's either you're for one party or you're for the other. There's no like middle ground. I feel like as a society, we should get our information other than the news outlets. Obviously, you need to stay informed on what's going on with the world, what's going on with your country, with your state, with your city. You need to know that, but there's got to be alternative routes in order to figure that out. Because just watching these news, like I know, even growing up, my grandma would watch the news and shit. It just pissed me off because like it was always on one channel, like it's never on another channel, and like that's where all her info is coming from. And then she just bombards me with all that negativity and all that like one-sided information, but I know there's more to it. And I know she's not the only one that does this. Yeah, this is a common thing that happens in a lot of people's households. They tune into one channel, and then that's all their info. They think they know everything about everything because based off that news channel's agenda. And you don't know the whole story. And then people think they know it all when they really don't fucking know shit. And it just pisses me off because like this happens all the time during like election season. Like people think they know it all, and it's just gonna get worse. Like it's September now, so what we got, like a month or two, and especially with like two polarizing candidates, I believe it's gonna cause chaos. And I'm just gonna sit back and just watch the show and just do my own thing, to be honest. But I feel like we got to get our information more natural ways. Obviously, like I touched on, you need to be informed on what's going on, but you can do that by reading books. You can do that through experience. You can do that by talking to people. You can do that by trial and error. You don't need to get all your information from a news outlet or from like these places where that they got something they want to push. It's like it's more so entertainment rather than information. Like, I wish there was a place where you can get stuff objectively as opposed to subjectively, where everyone's giving it their 2 cents. Just state the facts, and that it is what it is. Like it is what it is, and then just go from there. All right, so this is a quote that I got earlier today, and it kind of made me want to make this video. So the info that truly matters to us is found in our own observations, relationships, and inner thoughts. The constant bombardment of news can distract us from paying attention to our own priorities and thoughts, and limits our ability to make the most of our lives and talents. While some news may be important for some people, it is often disconnected from our own real priorities. So that resonated with me a lot, because a lot of the information you need doesn't even pertain to you. It's just random information that you don't need, and most of it is misinformation. So what is it? The question of the day is, what does it mean to be truly informed? I honestly don't know, but I believe, in my honest opinion, is to go out and just get your information by trial and error, get your information through experiences. Fuck all that new shit. Don't ever watch the news, bro. Just do your thing. Trial and error, and just do your thing, man. Peace.